You know, this skater had it all: goal scoring, playmaking, toughness, leadership. Part of the two of the strangest trades in NHL history, one that brought him to Toronto in a steal, and the other one that sent him from Toronto in a steal. Now, he's the heart of the Maritimes, even though he was born in Ontario. He moved to P.E.I. as a kid, represent Amherst, Nova Scotia at international events, and basically was a hero to many young skaters and teammates for a number of years, and a lot of people looked up to him and still do. So today we're going to be talking about the legend of Ricky Vaive. Now, Rick Vaive, for a lot of people, was the heart and soul of the Toronto Maple Leafs for early 80s to late in the decade, where he became the first Toronto Maple Leaf to notch 50 goals in a season. Now, he first came to major prominence by playing in the Quebec International P.E.I. hockey tournament with a squad from Amherst. Now, this tournament he skated in had a lot of interest because at the time the 70 and 71 years were loaded with young talent, and actually that's where he first got discovered towards the elite level. Now, before he was drafted, it was a very weird road to the NHL for him. I'll tell you why. Now, he played with the Colonel Gray P.E.I. High School squad in 76 and Charlottetown and Mayor of the Maritime Junior A Hockey League, where he had 79 points in 34 games. Now, he jumped to the Q in 77 with Sherbrooke, 110 points in 68 games, 51 goals, and then the heavy breakout year as an underage player. He had not yet turned fully 19. Excuse me, not say 19, fully 20. 155 points and 76 goals in 68 games. Now, the 78-79 season, he couldn't go into the draft that year, so he decided to go into WHA with Birmingham as part of the Baby Bulls system. Now, as it panned out, it was a great decision. He had 26 goals and 59 points in 75 games and a rough 248 minutes and penalties. Now, this came shortly after he went to the World Juniors in 78, where he helped Canada to a bronze. That was the Gretzky year. Now, in the Q, he was the Bergeron Trophy for Rookie of the Year in 77 and was rated in a Hockey News draft preview issue in 75 as the number 13 prospect for the 79 NHL draft. Now, he was draft eligible. Birmingham had folded, wasn't part of the merge, and Vancouver took him with a top 5 pick. Now, when he was Toronto's fourth pick in the 76 OMJHL midget draft, he decided not to do that, but to go into Major Junior. And with Sherbrooke, he played on a line with the great Jared Gillis for a while. Now, again, he signed with Birmingham as an underage free agent in July 78, and the rest, of course, is history. Now, his big line with Birmingham was Rick Aduano and, of course, Michel Goulet. Can you imagine when he came down the ice what the defensemen were doing? Probably shitting their pants. Now, he was one of 6 underage juniors who played for Birmingham in 79, helping the team earn the Baby Bulls nickname. I think Gingras was there, Langway, Rob Bramage, Pat Regan, very strong. Now, why he's so connected with the Maritimes is this. He moved with his family from Ottawa to P.E.I. at the age of 11, and of course, the rest is history. Now, he started off in Vancouver with okay results, and then the big trade occurred. He was sent with Bill DeLago, a great scorer, for Jerry Butler and Dave Tiger Williams midway through the 1980 season, and in that campaign he had 22 total goals in 69 games. But 81 was his big breakout, 33 goals, and then 3 consecutive seasons of 50-plus goals, 54, 51, 52, from 82 to 84, which made him pretty well a superstar across Canada, even though Toronto was doing nothing in the playoffs. Did make the playoffs in 82, 84, 85. Now, by 86, Toronto's fortunes were starting to change, but for some reason by 88, Toronto, through that genius Harold Ballard, decided to trade him for all people, along with Steve Thomas and Bob McGill. two solid teammates to the Blackhawks in exchange for Al Secor, who was past his prime, and Ed Olczyk, a very talented forward, but not a Steve Thomas or even a Rick Vaive. Now, this happened before the 78 season as one of the several lamentable trades arranged by team owner Harold Ballard in the 1980s, even though he was a genius to get Derlego and Vaive in that deal. Now, Vaive had 43 goals in his first season in Chicago, but never managed more than 31 in a season after that. He spent 4 seasons with the Sabres before retiring as a member of the American Hockey League's Hamilton Canucks in '93 as a player-coach after Vancouver re-signed him. Now, Derlego was always considered a Team Canada, what he called stalwart, but I think the turning point for him when he was a late cut from the '84 Canada Cup, and also served as captain for the Leafs from '82 to the '86. Now, he was also stripped of his captaincy during the '86 season for missing a morning practice. We'll get into that in a second. See, Ballard was treating Vaive like he treated McDonald and Errol Thompson and Sittler like shit, and Palmatier, and this really caused what he called the negativity of the franchise until it rebounded in the 80s. Now, as we look at his overall career as a player, a lot of awards, so bear with me here. He made the All-Star game with Toronto, 82 and 84. Molson Cup 3-star leader in 83 and 84. Toronto Do-Good Award winner for goals in 82, 83, and 84. Toronto captain from January 6, 82 to February 26, 86. Toronto records most goals in the season, 54. Most career goals for a right wing with 299. And most goals in the season for a right wing with 54. Again, 50-goal seasons, 82, 83, and 84. Toronto points leader, 82, 84, and 85. Goals leader again, also included 85. Penalty minute leader for Toronto in 81 with 229. Playoff points leader in 83. Playoff goals leader in 81 and 86. Playoff assist leader in 83. Chicago playoff goals leader in 88. Penalty minutes leader in the playoffs, 38 in 88, and playoff goals leader for Buffalo in 1990. Now, in his first game with Toronto, he scored 2 big goals against the Islanders, but eventually missed part of the 80-81 season with a groin pull in February 81. Again, he scored his 50th goal, the first ever in Toronto history, on March 24th, 82 versus St. Louis. Now, big ankle injury in a game against Edmonton, 84, he lost a lot of the season, and also had 3 assists in that year's All-Star game. Knee injury in 85 hampered his progress as well, and also missed parts of the 86 season with a hand injury against St. Louis and a wrist injury against Vancouver. Now, his captaincy was taken away on February 22nd, 86, when he stayed in a hotel room and slept in during a 7:50 a.m. practice in Minnesota. This was a foul of pattern behavior that Leafs management refused to tolerate. Now, he missed part of the 87 season with a pinched nerve in his neck, and tied the NHL record again for power play goals in a playoff series for Chicago versus St. Louis in 88. Again, injured in 89 when he was all things speared by Chris Chelios and Steve Martinson during Buffalo's January 27, 89 game versus Montreal, and with a pinched nerve in his neck and injury suffered during Buffalo's February 9, 89 game versus Detroit. So he was speared twice by Chelios and Martinson's 2 different games. Now, he missed part of the 90 season with a groin pull, missed part of the training camp with a pinched knee cartilage, and which required surgery, and he also missed part of the 91 season with a bruised shoulder with a check by Bob Sweeney in a Halloween game on 1990 versus Boston. Again, Buffalo Player of the Month in 1990. Now, after retirement, he decided to go into coaching, especially in the East Coast Hockey League, the American Hockey League, and the OHL, serving as head coach in 93 with expansion South Carolina Stingrays, where he won 2 division titles, a conference title, and in 97 became the first ECHL coach to win both the Brabham Cup and Kelly Cup in the same season. He also coached the Mississauga Ice Dogs during the 2001 campaign, guiding the team to, unfortunately, the worst record in the league, tying the 96 London Knights' few wins in the season. Vaive was eventually fired at the end of the season and replaced by all people Don Cherry. Now he's also done work on Leafs TV in various shows on the network that focuses on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now his family is quite talented as well. He has two sons, including Justin, who was selected by the Ducks in the 2007 NHL entry draft. Final NHL totals, not including his time with Rochester and Hamilton of the AHL, and of course the great Dundas Real McCoys of the ACH. NHL totals: 788 games, 441 goals, and 876 games, 788 points, and 441 goals, 1,400 minutes and penalties, ladies and gentlemen. 43 points in 54 playoff games, again 27 goals, and the majority of that great run came in the mid-80s to early 90s. Very strong in the playoffs. World Juniors, he had 3 goals in 78, 3 goals at the World Championships in 82, and 6 goals in the World Championships in 85. Now, coaching statistics: the 5 years with South Carolina, he had 4 consecutive 40-win seasons, and again won the title in 97. St. John Flames, AHL, coached for 2 years where he was a hometown favorite, and again Mississauga Ice Dogs. And 2005, as he wasn't playing with them that year, but he did coach the Dundas Real McCoys, 20-12, and a 2 overtime loss record that year. So a very, very strong coach. Now, this is where the Maritime connection comes in. He made the P.E.I. Sports Hall of Fame in 2000, well deserved. He also served as a part-time hockey analyst on The Score in 2001 until 2003. Now, we talked about a Hamilton assistant coach, and he did some time with South Carolina again as the director of player operations. Now, it was kind of ironic. He played his first minor league games for Rochester during the 92 season at age 32, because at the time he was trying to get back in the NHL. Now, very active in charities during his career, including work with United Way. That's well documented. Very, very good efforts. He also played on Toronto's off-season charity softball team. Now, his annual golf classic in Charlottetown is well known as well, as it raises money for the fight against cerebral palsy. That's a very good cause, ladies and gentlemen. Any donation to in Vaive's stead towards cerebral palsy is well appreciated. That's been close to his heart for many years. Now, when we talked about he was the first coach in ECHL history to lead a team to regular season and playoff titles in the same year, there was a reason why. I guess allegedly there were salary cap operations around that time when he was GM. So he was looking for the best for the best. So now, when he came out of retirement at age 42 to play for Dundas, he continued with them for pretty well 2 campaigns. Now, he became active in Old Timers charity hockey after retirement, and of course he skated the Heroes hockey game at the 2000 All-Star Weekend in Toronto. Now, Squidly and Squid was also known, of course, like I said, Ricky Vaive during his playing days. Now, the weird trade again from Vancouver to Toronto. Vancouver eventually got Vaive back almost 12 years later when he signed him as an unrestricted free agent on September 2nd, 1992. But all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you really look at it, in my personal opinion, Hockey Hall of Fame might be in the offing, because as a player, as a coach, as a skater at the Worlds, he's been elite in every level. But Rick Vaive was what you call, not say the greatest example of the power forward, but 6 feet to 180, right wing, probably one of the most dedicated players in Toronto Maple Leafs history. I know there were some rough seasons in Toronto. I know that he was getting a lot of hammering from the press. But when you score almost 30 goals in a dozen consecutive years, you were just off by 2 or 3. That's in Mike Bossy territory. That's Mario Lemieux territory. That's, Rocket Richard, Guy Lafleur territory like crazy. Rick Vaive, again, one of the most underrated players I ever saw, because all he would do was score goals, is like Chris Carter with the Vikings. The Toronto Maple Leaf fans in 2021, if they had a Rick Vaive on the roster, Montreal would not only lose in 4 games, they would lose in 3 games. Like I said, you give the guy the score, chance to score, he would do it. And he would never score in bunches, ladies and gentlemen. He would rarely score a hat trick or even 2 goals. So if you look at the raw stats, I think there's one season where he scored like those 52 goals. He said he had goals in like, I think 37 games. So I mean, it wasn't like Gretzky where he, a lot of power play goals or whatever. Every goal he scored was extremely important. And at the time, Toronto was struggling to be consistent. And again, he was the most consistent. So that's the life and legend of Rick Vaive. If you think he deserves to make it a Hockey Hall of Fame, I certainly do. Please let me know in the comment section. Give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And if you're watching the game tonight, if you're a Toronto fan, don't turn it on. Don't close your eyes. Go for a walk and stay away from the liquor. You may have enough time to drink later on, but I want you to be sober to see a win or a loss, because this series will never happen again, in my prediction. Have a good day. Bye.